Did you read any screenwriting books while you were writing?
Yeah. Dialogue by Robert McKee. Story by Robert McKee. Save the Cat. Pretty much all of them. all the famous ones. Because I needed to learn, better formatting, stuff like that. Watched a lot of videos, learning how to appropriately write character arcs and development, story arc, and those kinds of things. So yeah, studied a lot of different things.
And did you already write the screenplay before you started reading the books, or? I
had started because when I went to school, I had taken screenwriting classes, so I knew how to do it. But the books obviously very much helped tighten everything up. Helped solidify what I had already known, and give me confidence that, okay, I'm on the right path as far as structure is concerned. How I'm on the right path as far as how this character should evolve and develop. I truly believe in formula, and I think these books offer a really solid formula that you can just color by number. I have an idea, I have a story, this character needs to be this at this point, so let's get to that point. And so they're super helpful to tighten everything up.
So you outlined, obviously, because you said you came.
I wrote a treatment.
Treatment, okay.
Yeah, I'm a free writer. Honestly, I do my best work when I just write. I don't. Once the story's out, then I take time to really flesh characters out, which I guess is outlining. But I wrote the treatment in a night. I didn't think about anything. I didn't let I didn't let rules get in the way. Just wrote it. And then is when I went back and said, okay, this character gets to that point because of this. So I guess I outlined a little bit later, but not initially.
And where did you write it? Where were you when you were writing?
I wrote the treatment I wrote in Orange County. This was when I was in school.
At your apartment?
In my apartment, yeah, my house. And then when I came to LA, I wrote the script in my room. Yeah, I set up my computer to my big TV and just wrote to the TV. Yeah, just wrote it.
Oh, nice. So
yeah.
like huge font.
Huge font,
nice.
Huge screen, just wrote it on the TV. Yeah, it was awesome.
It's good on the eyes, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's way better.
And then how long did it take you to finish total, would you say?
I wrote the first draft in 2.5 months, sat on it for 6 months, so I get a fresh look, and then went and did the rewrite in about 3 weeks. And so about three and a half months to write the whole thing. Paid for writers to, what's it called?
Script coverage?
Yeah, paid for coverage, got notes. I learned, probably the biggest lesson I learned is that everyone has an opinion and everyone will tell you their version of the story. So as long as you trust your gut, it's great to get notes. But trust your gut first, because you're gonna get 1,000 different notes and people are gonna tell you, oh, why don't you try this? Or why don't you try that? Or try this, try that. And I think honestly, I used maybe 4 or 5 of the notes that I got from everyone who did coverage, because it was just so vast, That was a really hard experience for me, was knowing what to take. That's a great note, that's not a great note, that's okay, that was where the work came in. Was fixing according to what they were offering and knowing that, I don't have to use that note. Or that one's really good, I will use it. And being okay with that, But that was really, I think, where the most work came in, was that.
I would love to hear how you found the script consultants without giving their names.
No. So I went to the blacklist. I submitted there. They responded with a lot of different notes. I applied for the Nichols Fellowship. They gave me a ton of notes back. I went to writers' workshops locally in LA. I mean, you can just research a bunch. And I met other writers there who had credits under their belt, said, hey, can you do some coverage for me? They were always willing to, paid them a little bit of money, and they were always grateful to just give me notes. And that's where I found most of my coverage, was from the writing workshops, is when networking with people in person and doing it that way. And there's millions you can research online, millions.
Do you mind me asking how much you paid them? Just what's fair? I mean,
yeah, no, I because obviously, you know, they weren't professional. Like a lot of them were professional, but a lot of them weren't professional coverage. I just know that they had credits under their belt, and so I would just offer, you know, I would say, hey, $100, does that work for you? And they're like, yeah, sure. And you know, a couple weeks or 3 weeks later, I would get some notes back, and they were always really fast turnarounds. I was surprised, you know, they always dedicated some time to it, which is great. But yeah, I just offered what I could, you know, and that's what another thing is ask first. People are always willing to help. I got this film done because I just asked first, you know, and then saying, hey, what can we do? What kind of thing can we work? Everyone in LA negotiates. Just get comfortable with that language, the negotiation language. And yeah, just offer them what you can and see what they can do, and just be grateful for whatever you can get, you know, just be grateful. And that's pretty much what I found.
How many coverage reports did you get back?
I don't know, like 6 to 8, maybe solid ones. And then, and then the rest were just from friends and people who I knew growing up, who I knew were in the industry. But really like 6 to 8 solid ones that were like, okay, you're a solid professional. Who I can like trust, you know, because, you know, you have your friends read it, they're gonna either tell you it's great or they're gonna say, it's awful, rework it, you know. They're not gonna give you specifics, but I say coverage is great because they can give you specifics, you know.
So you had 6 to 8 people that you met.
Yeah, that I met at these workshops and stuff who were great at doing it, yeah.
And so that's where each time they gave you notes back, did you, like, how did that work? When you got their notes, I'm sure you probably looked at it, whether you considered it and actually did it is another thing.
Yeah, absolutely. The pattern I found is that everyone, like I said, would typically give you narrative notes. And I was looking for more structural notes, things like, does character A get to point Z by this time? You know, and does the dialogue make sense? And, you know, I wasn't necessarily looking for someone to change the narrative as far as like, this guy meets this girl and decides to do this with her. But I got a lot of that. I got a lot of people like, well, why does it have to be this? Why don't you try this? And those were the kind of notes that I was like, valid, but that's not where the story's going. This is the narrative. This is the path it's on. Does point A get to point B? Does point B get to point C? You know, and that's kind of the formula I found. That's kind of the routine I found. Yeah. So I would read the notes and then pick and choose, and that was the best part. You getting to pick and choose what worked and what didn't. You know, and you don't have to feel bad. That they understand. They understand if you don't pick their note, that's fine.
Well, they got paid.
They got paid.
So yeah,
it's whatever.
Yeah. Get over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any advice to people on hiring a script consultant? And what if they've never done it and there's someone where they can hire them at a reasonable price? Yeah, it's not like this, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely the Blacklist. I mean, they're super well known, and their professionals are so good, so good. They get back to you fairly quickly, and they always offer great advice. They don't just say this is wrong, but they say this is what you could also do to fix that. It's not just, I mean, they give you great compliments too. They score you. So I would say look at the Blacklist first, because it's a really good introduction to script coverage for sure.
And then once you're working with a script consultant, any do's and don'ts, any red flags, anything that you really want to encourage more of?
Be open for collaboration. As writers, we're always very precious of our work, you know, but be open. Know that you are going to fix things and be excited to cut, be excited to fix. It's really hard. It's so much easier said than done to like cut something. But I remember when I made my first cut, suddenly like the doors opened and I was like cutting everything. I was like, oh, let's cut that and let's cut that and let's cut that and let's cut that and let's just make it, streamline it, you know? And then it got fun, you know? But it took a little movement with someone else saying, hey, but this is why it could work, you know? And just be open for the consultant to give you the right, again, you don't have to take their advice, but just be open for it. And if you're not open for it, just pretend you are. Because they're doing you a service, you know.